I'm here in Raymond, Washington, a small town with a couple thousand people. It's about 30 minutes south of Aberdeen, Washington, and it sits along the Willipa River. So let's check out this cool little town. So I started out at the Riverfront Park, then I moved into the downtown area and finished off at the Willapa Landing Park. This is the South Fork of the Willipa River, and that bridge is Highway 101. So there's this whole dock down this way, but before I got to that, I went and checked out the Carriage Museum. So there's a couple of these exhibits in the parking lot to the museum. So this is the Northwest Carriage Museum. So they do have a few more pieces of equipment on the outside of the building. So I only ended up looking at the exhibits outside of the museum. One of the things I noticed so far is they have tons of these statues all over Raymond, and some of them on Highway 101. Some of them are also pretty abstract. So I'm continuing now on this waterfront path. Alright, we're back up on this walking path along the Willipa River. It extends beyond the park, so I continued all the way till it dead ends. Alright, we're coming up to the end of the current trail. Now I know from a previous time that I've been here, on the other side of this river is the Willipa Hills Trail, which extends all the way to South Bend. Now, assuming they could rotate this bridge into the closed position, I think the railroad right-of-way still exists that they could connect this trail in with the Willipa Hills Trail. So from here I started heading into the downtown area of Raymond. So I'm headed into somewhat of the downtown area of Raymond. This is 2nd Avenue and I'm heading north. Raymond's a town of maybe about 3,000 people. It has one large warehouse or lumber mill, and so I'm sure the town is heavily reliant on that, and then the businesses around the area support it. And so you see a lot of like dilapidated buildings or even abandoned buildings, but then you also see some nicer buildings that they've revitalized. So the large buildings in the back are part of the lumber mill. So I reached the end of 2nd Avenue and I'm on Ellis Street. I ended up doing somewhat of a zigzag pattern through the downtown area. Up 2nd, down 3rd, and so on and so forth. So I made it to 3rd Street, and this is the Pitchwood Inn and Restaurant. It's one of the more modern buildings here in Raymond. I'm continuing up 3rd Street now. So there seems to be a lot of veterans organization, this being the American Legion, and then I think there's a VFW as well. So this might be a little bit random, the sign of Northwesty. If you've been following my channel for a long time, you might know that I used to own a 1989 Volkswagen Vanagon Westfalia edition. And I always believed that Northwesty was one of the premier Vanagon shops in the U.S. In fact, one time I tried to get in to have them service my van, but they were like 6 months out. And they must have moved recently because they used to be in Raymond, Washington, so there you go. So now I'm near 5th Street, and they have this almost linear park which parallels 5th Street, runs for several blocks. I've reached the end of this park along 5th Street. They have a little bit of a playground. And right at the end of the park, they have a small water park. So there you go. From here, I headed over to the Willapa Landing Park. So here we are at the Willapa Landing Park. It sits on the Willipa River. It's a pretty large park. Like most of Raymond, this boat ramp has probably seen better days. This is the Willipa River, and I'm on this basic little peninsula right next to the boat launch. Well, I'm at the far end of the Willapa Landing Park now, and this is going to wrap it up for Raymond, Washington. It's a cool little town, so I want to thank you for watching.